ibahagin mabuting kalooban. Go palakas, hangad na maglingkod sa kapwa't kaibigan. Go palakas, alagaan natin si inang kalikasan. Halika na totoo sa kalikasan at kapwa-tao. Isa buhay natin ito. Go palakas, go palakas. Pangkalusugan, pangkalikasan. Go palakas.
Blessed morning.
Welcome, good day.
Good day to everyone, as always.
All over the world, mga nakikinig, welcome to the show. So ano bang topic natin o mayroon ba tayong ngayon?
Tita, mukhang pulang-pula. Valentine's ba?
Hindi, delayed. Oo, na-delay yung aming Valentine.
We're always sunny and happy.
Sunny. Anyway, it's
We're
too
still
sunny.
talking about
No, it's still too sunny.
service.
Oo
Kasi it's
nga,
supposed to be rainy.
rainy season, pero
But I think down
maaraw.
south, the people of the
Sa atin
country
lang
are
yata yung sunny
experiencing some
lagi.
difficulties with too much rain. Pero, alalahanin nyo, pagdating naman dito sa aming part of the country, the rain is the most welcome. You see, we hardly get any.
Very precious
But
to
yet,
us.
we should learn our lessons here simply because, alam nyo, our resources. Recently, before we discuss our subject matter, I want to share a few points to our audience. Now, the World Bank recently came out just 2 days ago in an article stating the countries. There were like 5 or 4 that was mentioned. The Philippines was in the front of it too. That are because of the lack or kumbaga our natural resources in our country is in in a state of collapse already.
In the red na siya. No?
Kumbaga matagal na tayo na yung mga resources natin sa ating bansa depleted na masyado, that it's not sufficient to supply the needs of the growing population. So sinasabi nila, they mentioned several countries that includes 2 countries in Africa, then in
Bangladesh ata kasali
South
ba?
Asia, yung
Oo.
Bangladesh, Pakistan, yung mga places na gano'n. But there are countries kasi maluluwag yung kanilang kalupaan. Pero no matter what, they're able to kind of manage their resources because they're next to, let's say in India. India has billions of people.
Ang dawak. ng lugar
Yet they're
nila.
next to the Himalaya. They're next to the Himalayas.
Oo.
So that means water would continue to flow in the rivers. Kasi yun ang pinakaugat ng Ganges, ng tubig ng China, ng tubig ng Mekong, doon nagagaling.
Oo.
So it only means, but tayo as an island country, an archipelago, pulo-pulo tayo, wala tayong malaking lupain na katulad siguro. Luzon medyo, pero Mindanao the same. Ngunit marami tayong mga lugar na yung mga probinsya, pulo-pulo.
Yes. Oo.
So it only means that everybody, ang warning kasi sabi ng World Bank, our economic situation is bleak. In about even 8 to 9 years,
Oh, malapit na.
malapit na yan.
Very short time.
We will see a situation that it's harder for us to produce food, anything that requires natural services. Ibig sabihin nun,
Tubig.
dependency natin sa natural resource natin, it will be severely affected. in 8 to 9 years. Ang prediction lang, mga 2030, madadama na natin ang husto. Which today, nadadama na
Actually,
natin.
ngayon na eh.
Oo.
Oo.
But it's harder for us to grow our food.
Hirap na,
Oo.
oo.
Right now, even if you have so much rain in Mindanao, that doesn't give you that
Sobra nga,
breathing
baha.
space to grow food. Kasi growing food requires a
Balance.
balance condition eh. So what happened is, the prediction is that, o sinasabi, ang projection, not prediction, it's their projection. Kasi World Bank to eh.
Oo, alam na
Sabi
nila.
niya, economy natin will suffer drastically simply because we won't be able to produce food, water,
Kukulangin.
maraming bagay na kukulangin because even kahit may karagatan tayo, the fisheries, kasi maraming tao sa Pilipinas, yan ang kinakain. Dependent tayo sa karagatan natin, sa pagkain. Sa kalupaan natin, lahat ng pagkain. Dahil nga sa ang ating natural resources, ang ating forests, ang ating oceans, are in the verge of collapse. So this means we have to make our mga nakikinig, we have to take note of this. I've mentioned this in the past, but because it was a warning that came out recently by the World Bank,
Yeah.
sabi nila, we should not take that lightly. Even our leadership should not take that lightly,
Especially them. no?
especially the leadership. How do you project a master plan for the next 10,
Yeah.
20 years? And what would it be like, to be able to provide the basic necessities of people of your own country? Now, na-pandemya pa tayo. So that means resources are very much depleted.
Yung
And
mga
hard to move
businesses are
around.
closing
Yes.
and everything. Employment is high, hindi ba? Unemployment.
Yeah,
is
so we
very-
should,
unemployment.
I want to share this to everybody because it entails every individual's sacrifice and contribution. Because we cannot see the government, we cannot just see our whoever is in leadership as the problem. Because you know what? We end up voting for them. You want to put somebody who's not concerned about the welfare of the environment.
For the people.
Kasi environment and people, magkadikit yan eh.
Yes.
We're
Oo.
definitely linked.
Just
Resource natin
just as when we
talaga.
talk about service,
Yeah.
we are all serving. That's our nature.
Yeah, nature talaga
Yeah, it's
natin.
the nature of every living being is to render service, right? So, even at home, let's say the mom is serving the children, right?
Yes.
The mom and the dad's making sure that he's on top of kumbaga yung chain niya eh. Okay, I'm on the top of the hill thing. I'm the one basically providing for the needs of
Oo.
education, the basic needs, shelter, security, food is being provided, no? So that means we're all rendering service one way or another.
Yeah.
That's the nature of our work as human beings. Even in the natural systems, every living being. Alam niyo ba, yung nag-aaral ako sa environment, sa sustainable environment yung nag-aaral ako ng sustainable environment systems. Sinasabi nga nung isang instructor, sabi niya, alam niyo ba, halos lahat ng mga living beings nagko-cultivate.
Oo, they have their own way.
They have their own way of cultivation. They
Kahit
share
baboy,
everything.
mga insects,
Insects, they're somehow cultivating. Somehow they're part of the whole process
chickens,
of
yeah.
cultivating.
Mm-mm.
There's a whole process of it, and the whole dynamics, and then it's explained. There's a whole chain of these things taking place, and all of it towards one particular goal. This is our contribution to the well-being of the natural system.
Kahit si Anay, meron.
Yes.
Di ba?
Paano ngayon si tao?
Ewan ko kung ano yung kinukultivate. Marami.
Sinisemento
Nakalimutan.
lahat ng cultivate.
Anong
Ay,
cultivation?
naku.
Hindi. Kaya nga yung mga magsasaka, Mrs. Kakaunti na lang yan.
Yeah.
Yung, siguro sa generation natin yung sila na lang yung nalalabing magsasaka Nauubos na yung pagdating sa kabataan,
Wala na yung lahi ng
hindi na yung
cultivators.
kasi ang hirap na mahirap na trabaho para sa pero alam niyo sa habang panahon palagi naman may magsasaka Ngunit pag ni-nurture natin ng kakaiba, yung mga younger generation, sinanay sila sa kakaibang anyo at practices. You may have the best data in the computer and how to do the best agricultural systems. But nandito lang yun. Kailangan
Pero,
pa
you
rin nun, at
Oo.
saka nun, at saka nun,
At saka ito,
at
di
saka
ba?
yun, yung
Oo.
pagmamahal. Kasi ang magsasaka, alalahanin ninyo, no matter what, may malasakit yan ng mga tao eh.
Ang
Yes,
hirap-hirap
they
ng
serve
trabaho
so
kaya.
well.
Kaya
Yeah.
yung service is a very service-oriented field of work.
Pero you mentioned no na in nature lahat nagko-cultivate. And then we talked about people. So when we're talking about service, actually each of us can contribute something, di ba, to the whole
We
picture.
can have a role.
Oo.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
naman hindi necessarily cultivating the soil, but doing our own work. For example, saving water, that's saving resources. That is a service to all
It's
of
a
us.
resource. It's a
Kasi
major
lahat tayo
important resource.
affected by that. Eh.
Without water, like in some places, too much water or lack of water.
Oo. Or the wrong water. I mean, like you have a lot of salt water, walang fresh water.
The
Kailangan-
imbalance is there, so it's so difficult to grow. You have to be, kumbaga na yung intuition mo, yung pagkamalasakit mong tao, importante yan. At saka the most important thing is your connection to the natural system, your understanding of it. So you have the ability to make adaptation. So you continue doing your role of service. Di ba?
So kahit you're just making tipid, you don't waste resources. Service din yan.
Oo. Kasi kung hindi naman wala tayong wisdom, ay baka distraction ang ginagawa natin. Instead of cultivating, nurturing, baka we're destroying more and making it so na mas mawala yung tubig, mas uminit yung planet, and all
Just
the
like
problems.
sometimes it's not so much ignorance, lack of wisdom, but sometimes it's just apathy. Walang pakialam. Like just kanina lang, we use the bathroom water was left open by someone. So, sayang yung resources, di ba? Sometimes hindi mo lang naisip ba?
Alam niyo, there's another thing I want to share here. For example, are you guys on tune with the news that what happened in Florida, in the US?
Nag-collapse yung,
Nag-collapse yung structure.
condominium.
So, there are many factors to look into why it took place, why it happened. You all have to understand that if you have a family member in that situation. Ako na naalala ko yung earthquake ng Baguio eh.
Oo.
Yes.
Kasi gano'n na gano'n yung itsura ng mga buildings
Oo.
na naghahakot ka ng tao, ginagamit mo, kamay mo lang, yung gano'n ba?
Yeah, trying hard to save
So,
someone
kasi
quickly.
naririnig niyo yung mga bosses at saka yung tapping eh. So, that,
Yeah.
kumbaga, race against time.
Oo.
If I don't get them out of there in 1 or 48 hours, it's done. They won't survive. So, then, naisip-isip ko, kasi napag-aralan namin ito noon eh, sa environmental lessons ko nga. Sabi, dito kasi sa atin, sa San Juan, may nagtayo ng napakalaking mga structure dito, north of us. And then behind it is a mangrove. It's a huge mangrove. Nasa likod itong mga structures dito, may tubig. Kumbaga, tubigan yan.
So,
Wetlands.
delikado.
So, anong delikado dyan?
Oo, kasi
Ito ngayon, tinitingnan dun sa mga Florida.
lalambot yung ilalim.
Baka yun nangyari. Kasi nasa tabing dagat sila.
Oo.
Gumalaw yung ilalim, nagkaroon ng liquefaction.
Yes.
Kasi sa mga ganyan
That's
na
very
lugar,
possible.
the possibility na, kaya sinasabi, kahit dito sa Pilipinas, hindi ba, nagre-reclaim tayo, nagre-reclaim ng
puro
lupa
islands tayo.
sa Manila Bay kasi napakamahal na realty eh.
Oo.
So ngayon,
Pero it goes against nature.
it
Ano?
goes against nature because what it does is it's an artificial thing that you're creating.
Oo.
And you know what happened? And they're putting huge buildings and malls.
Yeah.
Yan ang ginagawa nila eh. Kasi ang ganda nga ng pakiramdam na may ihip ng hangin galing sa dagat doon sa mga mall eh. Ang ganda nga ng feeling doon. Nobody is gonna go up against that. But yet, it's a practical thing to do. Kasi kaya dito nga sa amin, sabi ko, wow, hindi nila iniisip. Isang kahit na 4 in the Richter scale or 3.5 in the Richter scale.
Oo nga.
Baka lahat ng mga structures yan,
Oo.
bumagsak lahat.
Oo.
Oh, kasi iba yung pagka ang foundation mo hindi
Oo.
solid, talagang
Hindi mangyayari.
anything can
Kaya
happen.
when you think this way, you will see the different factors. If you're in leadership, why do you tolerate such things if you know there's something wrong?
Mm-mm.
Because in leadership, your whole approach to things and focus is about serving your people. Service to people means security, protection,
Oo, safety.
providing everything that they need. So the whole society, the service that we're performing, it becomes conducive to living our life,
Mm-mm.
to fulfill a deeper purpose. So we all end up, kumbaga these are finer things in our society as humans. We have to understand the approach of a human, service-oriented. Our life is geared around providing services to others.
And doesn't need to be a big service, it can be a small thing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Can be for the environment, can be
Oo.
caring for people,
Oh.
And ito yung papanindigan natin.
Mm-mm.
And even at home, we're all serving. But, you know how relationships are at home? It's about relationship of service. Mom, dad,
Tulong-tulong.
children are
Oo.
all
Oo.
involved in the whole dynamic of service. And then those who know and understand and responsible parents will also understand that, look, that service, the inspiration of that service comes from a deeper source.
Mm-mm.
Kumbaga, that's why when you read scripture, when you see the lives of saintly persons,
Mm.
they're encouraging us to be of service.
Oo.
One way or another. We may not be, maybe a janitor ka lang or street sweeper ka lang, no matter what. But
Malaking service yan,
ginagampanan niya yung
importante.
kanyang role.
Oo.
O ikaw yung pinaka-pinuno. Pareho naman sila, patas yan eh.
Oo nga.
Oo.
Sa tanaw, lahat tayo patas eh pagdating sa ganito. No?
Yeah, service is like, sometimes you're walking down the street, merong nadapa, nagkalat gamit niya, di matulungan ba? Ang laking bagay na noon.
O kaya may,
Or an old person is
di ba may
carrying,
nangyari
they
sa
have
Amerika?
carry things.
A few months back or a year siguro. Yung Pilipina, di ba?
Ay, yung sinasaktan na siya.
Sinasaktan na,
Ayaw
pero
siyang
iba nagsara
tulungan.
ng pinto.
Oo, hindi
Oo.
Imbis na
tumulong.
tulungan.
Oo.
Or
alam
very
niyo,
recently here, di ba nag-crash yung
Oo.
airplane?
Yes.
nakita niyo.
Takbuhan yung mga mga
Mm.
neighbors, talagang
Mm.
tumulong sila.
At the risk of their own lives.
Exactly.
Right. You see the natural
This is really,
tendency.
Oo.
yes.
Tulong tayo, tulong
Natural sa
tayo.
atin yun eh.
Kahit na hindi tayo equipped, hindi tayo marunong,
Oo.
pero hindi mo
So they know they will be able
Kumbaga,
to help somehow.
you won't be able to, kumbaga sa Pilipinas, hindi mo masisikmura na hindi ka
Hindi mo
tutulong.
matiis.
Hindi mo
Oo.
matiis.
Oo.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Napaka-hard-hearted pag ayaw mong pansinin o parang
Oo.
dinedma mo lang yung mga problemang yan, hindi ba?
Anyway, batiin natin muna yung ating mga nakikinig at magandang umaga kay Kalinde.
Oo, si
Palagi
Jose.
first
Hello.
honor yun
Oo.
You know.
Si Rina May rin.
Si Rolly is bumabati ng good morning. Si
Thomas,
Rolly,
yes,
oo.
good
From
morning.
Angeles, or Radiga from Cebu.
Yung Maynigo
Yung
tribe
Maynigo
natin
tribe.
dito
Isa pa rin,
sa La
palagi
Union.
always
Oo.
present.
Oo.
Si
Yes.
Rosalinda Lascano
From Japan.
Okinawa.
Yes.
Yeah,
thank
stay
you.
safe ha. Dumadami
Oo.
rin ng kaso doon.
And our friend Ver Enriquez from Zambales yan.
O may question.
So makilaho
Si
kayo.
Adi
I
Villa
want to,
sa Torre, bumabati o maayong buntag. Nasa Cebu yan. Okay.
may
Si
I invite
Mary.
everybody.
Oo.
Please, makilaho kayo. If you have any
Oo.
comments or anything to add to our discussion, please, or experiences, share it to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mary is greeting us good morning, feeling happy to hear again.
Oo,
Well, actually yan, happiness rin yan. Kasi service nyo naman ngayon, makinig. Okay, listening. Service naman namin to speak and also to hear and to read your comments.
Yeah.
Part of our
Yeah.
service. Okay.
It's part of sharing.
Mhm.
Listening. We say it's a sign of respect. But yet at the same time, on our side, we also are responsible to make sure that what we talk about will make people's lives better.
Oo.
So can I-
Dito Toby, may question yata sa iyo si
Si-
Thomas.
Oo. Ask ko lang po sa paano pong paraan matutulungan ang mga magsasaka sa Pilipinas para ganahan silang maging masipag na magsasaka. Okay.
Alam
So,
nyo,
masipag naman
masipag sila.
Oo.
Kung ang magsasaka ang professional tatanggapin mo or
Masipag
gagawin
ka
mo,
talaga.
kailangan maging malasakit, kailangan may malasakit at sipag ka.
Mm-mm.
Ito lang ang masasabi ko. Katulad, alam mo, kahapon may kaibigan ako, kaasawa sila. Dinala ko sila doon sa bundok, no? Sa farm. Ngayon talagang kung hindi ka marunong, if you don't know how to plant things out, you have a difficult time to grow anything. So one of my workers was there, one of the workers, the farm workers ko. Tinanong ako ng kaibigan ko, ilan na farm workers mo dito? Siya, kano kalawag yung lupa? 12 hectares yung lupa. Tapos nakita niya yung almost 1.5 hectares yung
Natamnan
palayan.
na, oo.
Ang dami ng palay. Sabi niya, siguro ang dami mong trabahador. Ano? Hindi, siya lang.
Doon sa part na yun.
Doon sa part na yun.
Hindi naman 12 hectares ang may
Pero,
palay.
alam niyo may ganito. Every time I see this fellow, he's there doing something.
Oo.
And I know his feeling is that, syempre, he has to take care of his family, one.
Mm-mm.
Second, I know that I could measure that this fellow is doing more than what he should be doing. That's
May
his
gana
sacrifice.
siya eh.
Oo.
Ganado nga.
May ganado. Marami hong ganitong mga tao
Oo.
na mga magsasaka dito sa atin. There's so many of
Well,
them.
isang halimbawa rin ng pagtulong natin sa pagsasaka. Kamukha last week ko, binanggit namin na namigay kami ng mga ilaw sa kanila. Kasi nga, madalas po ang magsasaka, maaga pa lang, nandyan na sa fields, nagtatrabaho. Siyempre, madilim pa. Oo. So,
Wala naman
nakakatulong
street
yung
lights
mga
dun
ilaw
eh.
na yan.
Ang kanilang
Oo.
lights.
Oo. Pero actually, isa rin dapat maging parang incentive for farmers. Isa na mas maganda yung presyo ng pagbili ng palay, hindi ba?
Yes.
Which is controlled a lot. Ang kumikita yung mga middlemen. Kawawa talaga yung farmer.
So, helping them with
Marketing.
marketing,
There's so many
malaking
facets
bagayaan.
of
Oo.
help that we can do.
Yeah.
Yes.
O kasi iba-ibang,
At saka seeds, no?
iba-ibang stages yan eh.
Oo.
Yung seeds, yung post-harvest, yung
Yeah.
storage, yung tapos, helping them, no?
Oo.
Oo.
In their standards of
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Mm.
Kasi
And also yung mga added value, how to do those things.
Actually,
mga
kung
added
meron
value
lang kayong
products.
pwedeng tulungan na farmers, tumulong tayo sa paggapas, oh my God, ang hirap kaya ng trabahong yon. If you even try it, you will feel that the sacrifice na ginagawa nila, kahit yung
magtanim ay
magtanim yung
bibiro.
mahirap dyan. Pero,
Di ba?
Hindi, lahat,
maggapas.
Pagdating
From
sa
every
bigas,
stage.
lahat, oo.
Buong
lahat.
araw
Kaya
kayo
nga-
nakayuko,
Kaya nga before, di ba
you're
may
exposed to the
bayanihan,
elements.
the whole
Right.
neighborhood is
That's why
helping.
before,
Pero ngayon meron na rin
there's so
gumagamit
many,
mechanized.
there's so many of
for
us
harvesting.
here right now where our whole, if I ask the audience, just do this, think of it.
Mm-mm.
Filipinos, how much rice do you eat per day? Or how much rice do
Huwag
you
na
eat
natin
per year?
sabihin,
May ganun
wala
na ako
tayo
eh.
aking
So isipin nyo na lang yun.
diet.
Alam nyo,
2 sako.
mahirap pala yun.
Kabuan.
Para yun matanim. Ganun ba? So these are things that are we okay?
After
My
this.
story.
Let's go na. Okay, sorry about the technical glitches here, but magandang umaga ulit. Magandang umaga rin kay Cesar, yeah? Good morning. And then definitely Vina Pascua, Lisel, good morning. So there's so many ways for
And
us to be of
comments
service and
si
to help.
Radiga. Oo.
Oh, selfless service can encourage a person to reach a higher state of humanity.
True. It actually makes you a better person kasi.
And a happier person, hindi ba?
And it leads to your spirituality also
Mm-mm.
kasi
One has to understand that the nature of serving
Mm-mm.
requires another person or a group of community or other people.
Dyan pwede ko na ipasok yung aking story. Very
Diba?
connected since na
Oh,
it requires
sige.
a community.
Mm.
This is the story, a true story po ng isang bata na lumaki sa jail. Okay? His name is Paul Oliver Pili. Paano siya lumaki sa jail? Hindi dahil criminal siya.
Magulang.
Yung mother niya at saka yung lola niya got into trouble sa business and were charged with estafa. Pagpasok nung mother sa jail, she was already pregnant. So,
doon na siya pinanganak.
doon siya, nag-request naman yung mother, can I keep my son? Kasi wala naman ibang mag-aalaga. So, pinayagan siya, no? And basically speaking, nung lumalaki siya sa jail, tinutulungan sila nung mga inmates na may pera, abutan yung mother, ito pang gatas ni Pau, no, his nickname is Pau, ito pang ano niya, pang diapers niya, kung ano yung gamit. The mother and the lola opened a sari-sari store in the jail, no? Pero pati daw yung mga bisita ng mga inmates, nagbibigay rin ng pera. Okay, so time passes and it's time for Pau to go to school. So, merong mga good people na hinahatid siya sa eskwelahan, tapos tinutulungan siya pag meron daw meeting ng parents, yung mga ibang relatives ng mga inmates ang nag-a-attend ng mga meetings. So, sila yung nag-aasikaso kung anong kailangan school. Tapos one time, nung parang grade 1 pa lang si Pau, tinanong siya na, sabi ng mother, ng teacher niya, nasaan ang nanay mo? Nasa kulungan po. Saan ka umuwi? Sa kulungan din po. Sabi niya ganon. So basically, maraming tao dun sa jail, pati yung mga bantay, mga warden, tinutulungan din siya as a child, lumaki. And finally, siya, sabi ng nanay niya, kailangang ituloy mo yung pag-aaral mo. Kaya lang when he was about to graduate from high school, no? Kasi 25 years siyang tumira sa jail eh. When he was about to graduate from high school, minove yung lola at mother dun sa correctional institution sa Mandaluyong. Obviously, hindi na siya pwedeng isama. Kasi lalaki correctional, yan for women yung sa Mandaluyong. So, naiwan siya dun sa jail. Sabi niya, ano mangyayari sa kanya? Sabi naman nung mga official dun sa preso, huwag kang mag-alala. Hindi ka namin paaalisin. Pwede ka pa rin dito. Huwag ka lang gumawa ng kalokohan. Pwede ka pa rin tumira dito. So basically, sila naman ang nag-alaga sa kanya. Nag-adapt sa kanya hanggang makagraduate siya ng high school. And nung nakagraduate naman siya ng high school, sabi, sige, ituloy mo yung college mo. So, nag-aral rin siya by the help of other people, contributions, nakakuha rin siya ng scholarship. Diyan to sa Angeles Angeles City Jail siya lumaki. And he was able to go to school sa Holy Angel University. Doon siya nakapag-aral ng education hanggang nag-graduate siya ng as a teacher, no? At naging licensed teacher siya. Pero laging dinadasal niya, sana gusto ko rin ang nanay ko naman makasama ko sa graduation. So nagtitake siya ngayon ng masters. At the same time, nagtuturo na siya. Tapos sabi niya, inihintay raw niya kasi nakakawala na, nakalabas na yung nanay niya from jail. So parang...
Nakakawala mo. Tumakas.
Na-release na, na-release.
Nakalabas na. Oo,
nakalabas.
nakalabas na. Yung sa jail. Si Sir Toby talagang anito yun. Chine-check yung sinasabi ko. Tama naman yung correction.
Baka
Kasi iba yung
sinabi tumakas.
ibig sabihin ng nakakawala.
Pero imagine, no, 25 years yung nanay tsaka lola sa jail.
Kaya wag kayong mga gaganyan.
Oo, wag kayong-
gagayan
oo.
yung estafa
So, ito namang si Pao, talaga nagpursige at ngayon na siya ay nag-aaral ng masters. At sabi niya, dadating din yung panahon pagkatapos niya ng masters, kasama niya yung nanay niya sa graduation. So, sinasabi niya sa mga estudyante niya, sabi niya, ano lang, magkaroon lang kayo ng hope. Sabi niya ganyan na somehow yung buhay natin, hindi tayo pababayaan ng Diyos. No? So, very, ano yung, sabi niya, hindi raw siya nagagalit na sa nangyari sa kanya sa buhay. Papasalamat siya sa mga taong tumulong sa kanila, sa kanya, ganon. At makita naman natin na kahit napakahirap ng sitwasyon,
Oo.
no, na wala yung ano, lumaki siya sa isang preso, Pero makikita rin natin yung service ng mga kasamahan dun sa
Yes.
preso. They
Oo.
tried to help. They tried to, do good for this person until siya nga ngayon isang guro, isa siyang teacher, at yun din ang ini-impart niyang positive teachings dun sa kanyang mga estudyante.
So we see how when we do service, no matter how small,
Mm,
we're actually being used by the Lord to help
Oo.
others also.
Oo.
See, that's the
Mm-mm.
beauty of what we have. Kasi we can always, there's that connection eh. We have that, as humans, we have that eh. Alam natin kung saan galing yun. Maintindihan natin. Kumpara ninyo sa mga iba-ibang uring wildlife,
Mm-mm.
wala silang ganun na conscious, they could not comprehend that eh, because they're so limited.
It's animal instinct
Yes.
na nagmo-motivate sa
Pero
kanila.
sa human
no?
life, no. The human life, it's all about service.
Oo.
You know?
Oh, look, wait, ha? Si Dixie merong magandang sinasabi dito, i-share sa atin. Good morning po, Go Palakas. I would like to share a beautiful quote about service and giving. I thought it was perfect to share. So here it is. Although buried under the ground, the root of the tree gives nice, sweet fruits to the tree branch, never asking for any kind of remuneration. People should give not for the purpose of gaining something. Giving in itself is incomparable happiness. That's from Jagat Guru.
Alam nyo,
Napakaganda nga, perfect nga yan. Dixie.
there are root-like people in this world.
Yes.
So we have to
They just work without thinking,
Yeah.
para ganito, bayaran
Para
ako ng tao, or
politicians
they'll take
lang
care
yun,
of me.
Wala
Well,
silang
we
mga
don't know.
concern for
Everybody has their own
Mga
motivations.
foto,
Kasi-
mga foto para ma-social media, para
Oo.
dumami ang kanilang followers, o pang vlog. Hindi naman yun ang reason, no?
Yeah,
for
Just
because-
from
doing
the
good.
goodness of their
Oo.
heart.
Yeah, be root-like. ang
Never
tawag.
asking for
See,
anything or
kaya
expecting,
when Dixie
no?
mentioned about the tree, siyempre, ako
Ganun
eh.
talaga, tree talaga is a good
Pagdating sa
example.
puno eh.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Giving talaga ang trees.
Alam nyo, no matter what, from tubig to pagkain to hangin,
Oo.
fertility ng soil,
Ah,
sila yung bida.
oo, pati medicine, pati pang
Gamot.
bahay natin, pati pang damit
shade,
natin.
panlamig.
Shade.
Oo.
So,
All comes from the
yung qualities na gano'n, siyempre, as human beings, we have more.
Mm-mm.
Really.
Mm-mm.
We're given more. We were given more potentials that we should.
So, wag nating pagdamo.
Yes.
Oo.
At saka kasi usually when people see a tree, they always admire the crown, yung what's above the ground.
Yes.
Yung hindi nakikita, yung mga
root.
Yun
ugat.
ang katrabaho.
Oo, oo.
Sa baba.
That's where
Kaya
the work is,
Oo.
to
really.
keep all the huge
To support,
tree to
yeah.
support it.
Oo.
Makikita niyo yan.
Yes. So, Dixie, may pahabol pa siya. We should be like the roots of a tree. Become a giver who's expecting,
Without
expecting anything in return or for others to recognize our work. This is true charity
Charity.
and service and where true happiness lies.
Low-key.
Low
But
key but
genuine.
genuine.
Oo.
Yes, very nice.
Kasi kahit hindi na kayo pansinin, kasi iba KSP, pag may ginawa, kailangan
maraming ganyan.
ma-acknowledge.
nagiging bugnutin. Ano, may mga gano'n eh.
Mga nag expect ng more.
Anyway,
Kahit hindi mapansin, okay lang. Masaya rin tayo, hindi ba?
actually, the service, when you are engaged in selfless service, the happiness is from within.
Yes.
Kaya nga yung iba,
And
gusto nila anonymous, di ba?
You know, when a person is in this position,
Mm-mm.
It's a position of humbleness and kumbaga ano, you have caring, meron kang malasakit, meron kang sacrifice, may ganun lahat yan eh. When a person has embraced these values in life, ang pananaw niya sa buhay, iba eh. You know, ibang-iba. But if I live my life where I count what I do and expect the same thing or more in return, then I can guarantee you a miserable life.
Oo.
May ganun yun eh. Kasi that's not serving eh.
Kasi
That's
it's
just
never
fire.
enough eh. Parang,
Yeah.
ginawa ko to sa'yo. May utang na loob ka sa akin.
Kaya we always encourage
Oo.
volunteerism. And,
Yeah.
But with Safe Care, our
Or
organization,
unconditional.
talagang
Kumbaga, there's unconditional.
you work.
Kumbaga, without conditions.
Oo.
And we are given this potential. Kaya nga, I always mention this eh. Look, a person in this situation, yung consciousness niya, ikakaiba. You know, it would stand out. You know, reach out to more. Ako nga,
Very spontaneous.
Yeah.
Ano?
At saka hindi kaya tayo magkukulang sa opportunity to serve. I mean, no day, no time na sabihin mo, ay wala na akong service na magawa.
Alam mo,
Yun,
ang buhay kasi
Kahit
lang-
ngumiti ka lang sa isang tao, service na yun.
Go-
Kasi nakaka-brighten ng araw.
Kailangan.
Oo.
alam niyo, ano yan eh. Hindi ba ang buhay ng tao ay work in progress? From the
Oo,
time you're a
laging
child
meron.
from the time you're a baby until the time you leave.
Until
eh.
your last
Ah.
breath.
Oh, it's work in progress palagi
Oo.
yan. Hindi natatapos yan. Kasi mahaba yung ating memory. Yung intelligence natin can be uplifted to a higher level. Ang daming ganun eh. So, it only means that when we care for others or we don't care for others, we feel that. It's not like you cannot fake it. Eh.
Oo.
You know?
Tama.
So, that means, alam niyo, katulad sa bahay, di ba? Ang mag-asawa. Yung malasakit yan sa isa't isa, mahabang panahon yan. Yung commitment, para yan mag-work, napakahabang panahon yan.
Laging
Work
work
in progress, tuloy-tuloy yan hanggang sa huling hinga.
Oo.
There's always that service that we're offering one another. Kasi if you cannot serve your neighbors, you come to a point where hindi mo na kaya. Physically, you can't do anything anymore, right? But there's still service taking place within a family that continues. Kasi ganun ang process natin eh. We pass on. Alam nyo, there's something. Minsan, maybe I'll share this to somebody, to those of our generation na. Di ba? We have such years of experience in life. Di ba? Kung ano man ang mga ginagawa natin, that gives us a leverage if we have pursued a life for purpose. That means when you get to a certain time of your life, the experience that you had and wisdom that you have received and heard and learned and applied in life, kumbaga namunga yan sa buhay mo eh. So the role of somebody who's more senior can be of that on sharing to others, to the
Sharing.
younger generation. And this is a service that we can do and not limited by because we don't have the physical capacity anymore. But yet, the experience come in play. Especially
Sharing it, no?
If
Teaching
we
it to others.
receive timeless information,
Yeah.
right? Kumbaga, you can pass on this information to others. And it's time and place. That's what counts. It can be in relationship at home. It can be how one can serve one another. It can be how I can be of service to my neighbor, diba? Or the environment. There's so many facets of activity of service that we can be doing. It's never ending.
Actually, meron sinabi nun yung si Jagad Guru, because we had a TV show before. I was playing on ABS-CBN and Channel 13. And of course, it costs a lot of money to put those TV shows on the air. Pero nung nakahirapan na sa funding, tinigil namin. Tapos sabi niya, don't worry, sabi niya, you all have a tongue. And if all of you use your tongue to also speak wisdom, then the same process is happening. Kumbaga, nasi-share nyo yung teachings, nasi-share nyo yung truth with people, then you can also help a lot of people. So very ano lang yun, lahat naman tayo may dila, hindi ba? Mas magandang gamitin yan sa
Kesa chismis.
kesa sa to
Oo.
destroy other
Oo.
people, but use it to uplift people. Hindi ba? Yung a better way of using the resources that we have and our
Yeah.
time and our energy. So lahat yun, ang yaman natin eh. Ang yaman natin sa resources. It just has to be used for the right purpose, for a good purpose. And we can all help a lot of people.
Pleasant morning to Francis Mina.
Yeah.
Kanina
And
din,
Ananda.
si Angel Gonzalo, kanina rin
Oo.
bumati. Okay, and Luntian Karihan. Okay?
So speaking of the tongue, we also can use it by saying kind words, words of encouragement,
Oh yeah.
words of love,
Oo. Oo.
telling people how much you appreciate them.
Yes. Oo. Parang yung mga
These are
ating,
all types of service.
yung mga listeners natin, very kind, no? With their encouraging words and their
Mm-mm.
greetings. That's a very nice thing that you are doing because pinapaganda nyo rin yung aming umaga. No? So, it's an interaction relationship with people that we have.
Yes, it's about nurturing.
Oo.
It's natural for us to be nurturing.
Yes.
It's something that we have learned as a child. If we have nurturing parents, raise us,
Mm-mm.
and we feel that unconditional love.
Yes.
If we are raised in this environment, then definitely we will live our life
Mm.
with such nurturing. Kumbaga, the
We pass
nature.
on the good.
Yes.
So,
Kasi at the end of
Actually,
the
may
day.
experience din ako. Pag napasok yung pag-iisip ko na mag-serve and I have a responsibility to help people, nakakalimutan ko yung sarili kong problema. Whatever comes, personal problems. I
It's the
have to
quick fix.
Oh,
yeah.
Tama.
And it's even, you don't
It's
even
the
feel that
medicine.
it's a responsibility anymore because it becomes your life already.
Yeah, you don't even,
Oo.
kumbaga, you begin to.
It's like, oh, I'm doing this because it's my responsibility. But it becomes more of that's what gives you the life, yeah.
Diba?
A happiness.
Kasi minsan
So,
akala natin yung problema natin nagpatong-patong na yung pala pag nakita mo yung iba.
Yes.
Oo.
So,
wala
you
tayong
know,
karapatan
Wala
mag-amal.
tayong karapatan. Pag tayo
Oo.
tayo ay may kaalaman pagdating sa wisdom. Ito ini-embrace natin sa ating buhay.
Yung
We don't
mga
have the right to mukmuk.
Oo.
yung
Wala
mga
kang case.
stories na nabasa ko dun sa mga soldiers na namatay dun sa plane
Oh.
crash, no?
They
There was
were
one guy
servants,
there
for sure
that
na.
every birthday niya, by random, hahanap siya ng tao, bibigyan niya ng bigas, bibigyan ng pagkain niya. It's just that's his way
You
of
know, no
celebrating
matter what,
his
Instead of
birthday.
waiting for gifts,
I come from a family of
sa
military in the Air Force. I could immediately feel what went on when that took place. And
Yeah.
on the technical side, I could understand the difficulties that everybody had to go through because we were raised this way.
Mm-mm.
And then
Marami silang na-experience.
yung piloto nga he comes from a long line of kumbaga yung lolo niya was
military family.
my dad's kasama, yung ganun baga.
Oo.
So it's like, malalim, ang tama. Pero at the same time, in such situation, one thing is, pag kayo ay naging sundalo, alam nyo yung buhay nyo hindi lang para sa sarili nyo.
Yes.
You make the
For
ultimate
a higher
sacrifice
goal.
for a
sila
higher goal.
talaga.
So we always give thanks to all the soldiers, even the police and
And
everybody
their
who's rendering
families
service.
who help
Yeah,
them
we give you
through,
guys
yes.
the prayers, and it's difficult right now for many of you, but
We pray for you.
we pray.
Yeah.
It's all about prayer, and it's all about being thankful for what we have.
At saka yung mga dinadaanan nila, actually yung the rest of the division daw, nag-ambag-ambag sila ng yung meal allowance nila for the
Yeah.
day. Binuo nila para maibigay dun sa mga pamilya.
Families.
At saka yung mga nasaktan, yung nasiraan ng bahay on the ground,
Yeah.
they put the money, their contributions together para lang i-share. No?
Oo, kasi ang laki ng gastos nila. Sometimes what is given to them is not even enough for the funeral.
Oo,
So,
Anyway,
malaki talagang
again,
tulong.
time is up. And again, before we go, let's greet Jay Resurrection, Erwin
Yes.
Carino,
And
Ian.
Aboy and Katrino.
Ian Aboy.
Magandang umaga sa inyo. Sorry, we have to go now. Ngayon na ba?
Yes,
it's
our
already-
time
we're
is
done here.
up.
Basta keep
Mabilis.
smiling. That's a service. Remember, when you smile,
Service.
your chi flows, you'll be healthy, and everybody else
Feels
smiles
it.
also, and
Yes.
they will all be
Bring the
healthier
best
as well.
news. Always the good news. Kumbaga, let us be the main people to carry the best news that we can share others.
And si Cynthia Silvestre is also catching up with her greeting. Good
Good
morning.
Good morning,
Yeah.
good morning.
Okay.
So we're done here.
Everyone have a
Maraming-
good day. Thank
Okay,
you.
mag-ingat kayo palagi, alalahanin nyo, maging
COVID still with
malasakit,
us.
magdasal, at pasasalamat sa ating buong may kapal.
All our blessings. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Pangkalusugan, pangkalikasan, go Palakas! Hari Roni Tagore